For 6 weeks, the Cameron Crazies have been sleeping in tents outside Cameron Indoor Stadium to get the best seats they could get for the game that means the most to them here in Durham, and to wish their coach a happy birthday. It'll be a hostile atmosphere, to say the least, tonight for a North Carolina team coming off an ugly loss to Miami as they try to upset the #2 ranked team in the nation. Historic programs and legendary coaches collide next here at Duke.
The shelves are full.
America, are you serious?
But there is room for more stories to be written. The stuff of folklore, fairy tales, and fiction.
Two heavyweights, Shashansky, Williams.
The result of rivalries.
Welcome to Wednesday night. Welcome to the 352nd consecutive sellout here at Cameron. This is all a part of Rivalry Week presented by Wendy's. What a scene. What electricity in the house tonight as we get ready for the starting lineups here in Durham. The ACC standings show the Miami Hurricanes on top. Duke second in the nation in the rankings, second in the ACC in the standings. Carolina trying to make a move up into the upper echelon. Hi, everybody. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, Jay Billis. This is going to be fun. You've done countless Duke Carolina games. It doesn't seem to matter who's hot, who's not, who's ranked, who's not. This is a great rivalry.
Well, you know, Dan, like you said, 2 Goliath programs, 2 elite programs. Think about this, 9 national championships. You think about 33 Final Fours, 35 guys now playing in the NBA. There is no rivalry in college sports like Duke and North Carolina. I don't care what the records are. The bottom line, this is absolutely electric, and magical moments happen, trust me, in this matchup.
Let's break it down a little bit now. Jay, what are you thinking of the one-on-one?
Well, Mason Plumlee is going to be the focal point, not only for Duke inside because they can play through him, but also for North Carolina's defense. Plumlee averaging over 18 points per game, over 10.5 rebounds per game, and he's really improved his footwork in the post. He is excellent with his back to the basket and facing up. He can spin, he can get into the lane with a hook shot, and does a really good job of reading the defense and now reading double teams and passing out. North Carolina has struggled at the 5 spot. They're going to have to do a really good job on Plumlee. And I think it all starts with defense for North Carolina in this kind of game. They have got to defend. And the first thing they have to defend after Plumlee is going to be that three-point line because Duke has some good three-point shooters. North Carolina is capable of defending that line, but they have not done as good a job as they are capable of. They are 8th in the conference right now in three-point field goal defense, 38%. They have got to get out and take those away.
Now look at the starting lineups. Marcus Page, a freshman who makes his first appearance in this rivalry. P.J. Hairston, Reggie Bullock can really light it up when they're hot from the outside. And of course, they're so dependent on James Michael McAdoo to put up big numbers as well. Duke playing again without the injured Ryan Kelly. Josh Hairston gets the start at the power forward spot. Seth Curry averaging almost 20 a game in his last 5 games. Battling the noise, maybe with her earplugs in. Here's Janine Edwards.
Yeah, you got that right, Dan. You know, when you're coming off a 26-point drubbing at Miami just a few days ago, and you're a team that your head coach says doesn't handle adversity very well, how do you prepare for the biggest game on your schedule? Well, Roy Williams says, you know what? Right now our younger players are lacking toughness in games, but there's no way I can prepare them for a night like this. They have to experience it. Reggie Bullock's experienced it, and on Monday he instituted a new ritual in practice. They join hands and they shout, "Believe," because Bullock feels now is the time for the Tar Heels to start believing in themselves.
The Blue Devils with the first possession of the night. Quinn Cook at the point has taken his game to another level here in his sophomore season. Offensive rebound, Plumlee can't finish, and here comes Page.
Tell you the one concern of Mike Krzyzewski, transition defense. The one thing they can do, Jay, when you talk North Carolina, they can get up and down the floor and score.
Well, it's a team that can really run, but you've got to defend in order to get out and run, and North Carolina had a pretty good possession on their first possession. Mason Plumlee got it down low, but they were able to knock it away.
got to play defense with some pride and passion, and they have not demonstrated that. And their other difficulty is when they fall behind, they have not been able to get it back and get back in the game.
Hairston a turnover. Numbers for Carolina, and Strickland gives the Tar Heels an early lead.
Just a little bit of miscommunication, Dick, by Duke. And the big matchup on the floor, in addition to Mason Plumlee and James Michael McAdoo, is Reggie Bullock, a bigger defender on Seth Curry.
Carolina's at their best, guys, when they're running the basketball. And here's an example. Good two-man game. Stay a little wider than the lane. Get the good angle. I think it's important and pertinent, Jay, that Marcus Page has a good start to this game because he's a key player.
No question.
Strickland called for the foul. The ball remains with Duke after it's knocked out of bounds again. Roy Williams says Marcus Page is playing better than his numbers would suggest and is a very mentally tough kid. So he feels pretty good about him playing in this environment for the first time.
You know, his shooting percentages are really low, but he's been really making some strides in managing a game, and he's also doing a really good job of putting pressure on the ball, which he didn't do earlier in the year.
You can't win in college basketball. I saw an example last night. If you don't have strong perimeter play at your guards, I had the Kentucky-Florida game, you just cannot win at the elite level.
Duke is a low turnover team. They've coughed it up twice already.
Boy, Bullock gets a wide open look coming off a screen.
I know you like him, Jay. He can flat out shoot. He's got lots of talent.
Well, don't you think, Dick, that Reggie Bullock has been North Carolina's best player? He's their most efficient, and he has been their best player most of the season.
And again, at 6'7", guys, he's going to be able to see over whoever's guarding him for Duke, whether it's Curry or Sulaimon.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski told us that in the pregame meeting. He's concerned about him big time.
Rashid Sulaimon with the first points of the night for the Blue Devils.
That's the ball screen action. It was screen and then re-screen. They were laying off Josh Hairston, and he just went and re-screened and opened things up for Sulaimon.
P.J. Hairston, no, and the rebound down to Cook. And another Duke turnover.
Flying up in the air. Jay, the ball screen has become so lethal in college basketball. What's your feelings on that?
Well, it's come from the NBA. It's really difficult action to guard. And I think one of the reasons we're seeing it is the game has become physical, and it's a lot easier to run that action without getting bumped off it.
One thing we should mention, normally Desmond Hubert starts for Carolina. He's not in the starting lineup. Also, Joel James is out with a concussion tonight. Hairston is in the lineup, so McAdoo is the biggest player, Jay, that Carolina has on the court to start this game. This is an unusual alignment for them.
It is. It allows them to spread the floor a little bit more and stretch the defense. It means that all of their wings are going to have to get on the glass because James Michael McAdoo can't do it by himself.
Well, like you said in a one-on-one, they really lack a five guy, a post guy that can give them efficiency in that lane.
Nice feed, and McAdoo with a slam.
He's got ability. He's got ability. He's a 14-point scorer, 8-rebound guy. Not a preseason All-American like he was picked, but he's a very good college player.
And there's an example of the floor being spread and the defense being stretched because of this smaller lineup.
Now, could McAdoo handle Plumlee at this end? Got some help, but a reach-in foul.
Well, James Michael McAdoo, when he is in space, he can play. That was just a little pick and pop action. Everybody was drawn to P.J. Hairston. Now, if that's run with the bigger guy, it's not as easy to deal with. Or it's easier to deal with, excuse me. It's really difficult for that pick and pop. That really stretches that defense out.
Emil Jefferson is checked into the game for Duke, taking the place of Josh Hairston. Jefferson, Murphy, Hairston all getting minutes in place of the injured Ryan Kelly, out indefinitely with a foot injury.
You know, Jefferson gives him a lot of length. He's very athletic. They really miss Ryan Kelly when you talk about being really special. His experience and his ability to stretch the defense with his jump shot.
Cook, a tough turnaround jumper. Jefferson, a good offensive rebounder, and he's there for the putback.
Has a big-time offensive rebound. Got good inside position. He's very athletic. He's got length, and that makes him a potential very good player.
Well, he just went right over the top of Reggie Bullock, and North Carolina's pressure was really good. They just didn't finish off the defensive possession.
Strickland with a strong drive to the bucket. A good start here for North Carolina.
You know, early in this game, Jay, you're watching North Carolina really attack the rim and get there, and very little help by Duke closing up driving angles.
Well, the floor is spread. North Carolina is spreading Duke, driving them, ball screening. They've become much more difficult to guard.
Jefferson rejected. Bullock the push, and it is Duke ball.
telegraphed that. Let's face reality. Duke is number 2 in America, but this is not a vintage dominant Duke team as teams they've had when you played, when the Grant Hills, the Leitners were here. This is, he even told us before, he said, hey, we get maximum. Our players are playing well together. I'm proud of them, but we're not just going to blow people away.
And Mike Krzyzewski said, quote, we are not a juggernaut. We'll have to play extremely well to beat Carolina. He thinks they have to play well to win any game. As Curry misses the 3 and the rebound down to Strickland.
Well, Curry is so clever coming off those screens down low. You have to give him one direction. You can't let him pick a side.
Wide open look for Page.
Great ball movement, got an open look for Page. You got to convert that.
He might want to drive that.
I agree with you there. It was wide open.
Cook with a floater.
Cook has become such a solid player. They're really running that ball up the court.
And an offensive foul on Bullock. Roy Williams doesn't agree. A feisty start to this one here at Cameron.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter. And in part by Dead Space 3, available now, rated mature. And the Experience Buick Lease. It's a new lease on luxury.
Kraft macaroni and cheese. You know you love it.
This Valentine's Day, fall back in love with Joe. Denny's has entirely new coffee, from the beans to the machines. Try it for free on February 14th.
I hate that cable only lets us record 2 shows at once.
Me too. Cable's worse than...
Not being able to record all our shows at once is more annoying than...
We need to upgrade to DirecTV and get the new Genie. She lets you record 5 shows at once.
I want DirecTV more than...
Record 5 shows at once with the new DirecTV Genie. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Yeah, it's a big mess. But don't worry, cleanup's already underway.
When the things that matter most are on the line, make sure we are too. The disaster recovery team at 1-800-SERVE-PRO. Like it never even happened.
College Game Day, Saturday at 10 Eastern on ESPNU and 11 on ESPN.
Who will take the shot?
Will he make a bigger impact? Unbelievable!
An incredible finish. One of the many memorable moments in the long history between Duke and North Carolina. Look who's checking in via Twitter. Christian Laettner is into this game tonight, as is Harrison Barnes. Jay, we asked you this last year, but let me ask you again. You played in this rivalry. What was it like?
Well, it depended on who you had to guard. It's great. I think the building is always hotter. The week is more electric. It's an amazing experience.
Mark Teixeira among the celebrities in the house tonight. New York Yankee first baseman is here to take in the game.
Yeah, I love baseball, switch hitter. He's going to have a big year this year. But, you know, Jay played in the era of Michael Jordan. I guess Brad Daugherty was on that club. They had some pretty good guys. Was Perkins there, too?
They set a lot of records when I was guarding them.
Did you ever guard Jordan?
Only on the switch.
And then you switch back real quick.
Yeah, they made a lot of posters out of those.
Sulaimon, no. Jefferson there on the glass, but it misses the follow. McAdoo driving, kicking. McDonald steps back for a 3, and the follow slam by P.J. Hairston.
That was a big concern of Duke. The offensive rebound. They do not offensively, they do not rebound well there, and Carolina does a good job on the offensive glass.
They average 15 offensive boards a game, Jay.
And going against a team in Duke that gets out-rebounded in ACC play and on the season. So far, only Mason Plumlee has been the stud rebounder inside. The wings have to block out against really good wings for North Carolina to get to the glass.
They're going to bring the ball inside of Plumlee more. They have nobody to stop them on the inside.
Hairston misses the three. Another offensive rebound. This time it's McAdoo.
Dick, that's a great point. Going to Plumlee has got to be a strategy for Duke.
Whoa, McAdoo blows right by Plumlee for the jam.
I tell you, if the first 6 minutes are any indication, they are really right now, Carolina, I think, have the edge the way they're attacking the rim, and Duke defensively is not meeting the challenge.
Remember, Carolina's coming off a 26-point defeat at Miami on the weekend. Step back jumper, no for Curry. And Carolina ball off Plumlee out of bounds.
Well, the spread floor has really helped North Carolina, and nobody boxes out. All white shirts just watching. And James Michael McAdoo, Dick, when he has some space, you crowd him, it's more difficult. When he has some space, his quickness is remarkable.
I'm telling you, it's amazing how guys don't block out. Your era, they blocked out. I see the last 10 years, I don't see people blocking out.
They block out when you can't jump. That's why I blocked out.
Boy, Hairston has had some good looks. Mike Krzyzewski, never mind the score. On top of that, it could be worse. Carolina's missed some pretty good looks from beyond the arc, as now Roy Williams goes to one of his centers for the first time tonight. McAdoo will sit down, and Desmond Hubert, a good shot blocker, is into the game. Marcus Page checks back in as well.
Hey guys, don't you realize, or don't you feel like I do, that this game is more of a desperate situation for North Carolina than it is to Duke?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Good ball movement again. Hubert, not a scorer, kicks it out.
So that's the key, is right now North Carolina can score from fewer spots on the floor than they could with their starting lineup.
Hairston posting and drawing the foul. Boy, he is playing with a lot of energy tonight as we check in again with Janine.
Well, guys, you were just talking about Carolina having a sense of urgency, and that's exactly what has been missing, Roy Williams has told us. And Reggie Bullock told me the same thing today. He said, especially coming off that loss to Miami, he said, we were disappointed in ourselves, and that's why he came up with that new ritual of practice, believe. He said, we've got to believe in ourselves. And he said, this game will come down to every guy playing his role, whether it's 2 minutes or 30 minutes, to the best of his ability.
You know, Janine, I think that's all great, Jane. You've been a player. Dan and I only played in the YMCA. You played for real. But, you know, believe. But it's tough to believe when you get beat by 26, 24, 18. I mean, you got to go out and do it. Then tell me about believe.
Well, I think that's true. I think you earn your confidence, and when your confidence is shaken, you have to go out and do something positive. And North Carolina has done something really positive to start this game.
Mason Plumlee called for the offensive foul.
He's not sitting in a post where I believe he can be so much more effective. He's lining up about 8-10 feet away from the post area. His effectiveness is down in a post. He's had 2 games recently, 30 and 32.
Yep. Reigning ACC Player of the Week. We're told we have been having some audio issues. They're working on them, hopefully cleared up by now, but we're working on it as best we can as Page turns it over on a double dribble. Roy Williams working up a sweat down on the sideline, as is Mike Krzyzewski on his 66th birthday here today. Alex Murphy into the game for the first time for Duke. Tyler Thornton is in the game as well.
Told us before the game that he's never had a game with North Carolina on his birthday.
Right, and this game is right around this time every year. Sulaimon knocks down the jumper.
North Carolina has got to guard ball screens in this game. That was just a simple ball screen on the wing.
Page in some trouble, finds some help. Deep one from Bullock for 3.
That's his strength. That's his strength. A premier three-point shooter. If he can square his body. You're right, Jay. You got to get over the top of those screens, or you got to communicate. If you're going to switch, step out and switch or hedge, but you got to play that ball screen.
Sulaimon the drive, absorbs the contact. Plumlee misses on the follow, and Carolina running. Hairston, bullet pass inside, stolen away.
Got numbers.
Cook to Sulaimon, and Plumlee fouled on the follow. Rivalry week keeps rolling on with a Thursday night showcase doubleheader. At 7 Eastern, the Big Ten action as Wisconsin takes on Minnesota. Then at 9 Eastern, it'll be St. John's and Louisville. The Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price, a part of Rivalry week presented by Wendy's.
I love it the way you say rivalry week. I couldn't do that in my sleep.
It sounds, my friend.
Oh, gee.
I'll tell you, Reggie Bullock and P.J. Hairston have made some really good plays at both ends in this game. I think their intensity has really taken North Carolina to another level in this game.
Hairston is fired up, and guys, he came into this game having scored 70 points in his last 77 minutes of action. That's remarkable.
You know, Dan, we've had them when they got routed by Indiana, North Carolina State, and I didn't see, as Jay said, the kind of emotion and passion and intensity they're playing here tonight with.
McAdoo, left hand, kept alive. Jefferson, though, has it for Duke.
I tell you, I like Jefferson. They're so active, Jay. He's a very active player.
Long arm, very athletic. Duke going back to that ball screen on an open side.
Runner by Cook.
They have a difficult time defending that ball screen. They really do.
Bryce Johnson, jump hook short. He is the most offensive-minded of the options that Roy Williams has at center.
I smell a little spurt by Duke. I smell a little spurt coming up.
Foul going against the Blue Devils. It'll be on Cook. Timeout on the floor. Carolina by 3.
Why do I like this new Buick Verano? It lets me audible.
OnStar, how can I help you?
Orange Barrel, reroute.
Sending new route now.
My friend. Call Papa Bear. Hut hut.
Hey, Peyton, just fired up the grill.
Tune XM60 Outlaw. If you don't know the innovative Verano, then you don't know Buick.
Celebrate President's Day and lease this 2013 Verano with 2 years of scheduled maintenance, no first month's payment, no security deposit, and zero due-it signing.
I may have retired from the game, but not from being big. Good thing one car gives me full-size luxury and 36 miles per gallon, which is nice because I've got shoes that are bigger than most hybrids. And more stylish, too. If you don't know the luxurious yet fuel-efficient LaCrosse, you don't know Buick.
Celebrate President's Day and lease this EPA-estimated 36 Highway MPG LaCrosse with no first month's payment, no security deposit, and zero due-it signing.
So, if you have a flat tyre, dead battery, need a tow, or lock your keys in the car, Geico's Emergency Roadside Assistance is there 24/7. Oh dear, I got a flat tyre. Yeah, can you find a take where it's a bit more dramatic on that last line, yeah? Yeah, I got it right here.
Someone help me! I have a flat tyre!
Oh, it's good for me. What do you think?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You're watching the ACC on ESPN. North Carolina with a 3-point lead early here at Duke. Rivalry week presented by Wendy's, the Tar Heels and the Blue Devils. Let's take a look now. Jay's going to take us inside the play at defending the ball screen for the Tar Heels.
Well, one of the ways that North Carolina needs to do a better job is ball screen defense. First one ball screen, then they're going to rescreen. Josh Hairston sets a ball screen again for Rashid Sulaimon. He just pulls up easily. Then the wing ball screen being set by Marcus Page's man right there. And just get picked off, you get right into the ACC there. That's really poor ball screen defense by North Carolina. They've done so many things well. If they can shore up that area, I think that's an area where they can have some success.
Meanwhile, that foul was on Quinn Cook just before the timeout. Of the starting point guard for the Blue Devils is on the bench with 2. You've got Thornton, Curry, and Sulaimon on the perimeter right now for Duke.
They got to really work on getting over the top of that screen, or they got to communicate and switch on it. They didn't do neither.
Curry keeps Strickland in front of him.
North Carolina running their set plays out of that box set, and this is their bigger lineup. They went smaller, it was really successful. The bigger lineup has not been.
Well, the smaller lineup gave them a lot more quickness.
Jefferson comes up with a steal.
Yeah, that's a real difference what you just saw there in Duke. If that were Ryan Kelly, that would have been a shot when Emil Jefferson caught that ball. You don't have to guard him in that spot right now.
Thornton. Plumlee looking for help.
Curry's got to go inside.
Curry follows his own miss, misses again. Curry still scoreless.
Curry's had bigger guys on him. He had Dexter Strickland on him there. He's so good in moving without the ball.
And Carolina hands it back to the Blue Devils.
What a year he's had, Jay, when you think about the fact that he's only practiced about 30% of the time, as Mike told us. He said, can you imagine if he was really physically healthy and able to practice? He's got that shin problem.
It's amazing, Jay, that he's in good enough condition without practicing much at all to play as many minutes as he has.
That's absolutely right. Those great points by both of you, because he's in constant motion on the offensive end. Well, good job defensively by McAdoo to stay in between Plumlee and the bucket.
Strickland draws the foul. It'll be on Curry, and that's going to be the second on Seth Curry. And now Cook, who just went to the bench with 2, is heading back to the scorer's table.
That the free throw line can be big here tonight. And when you look at the free throw line, North Carolina only shoots 64% as a team.
And that's the kind of North Carolina transition that can sneak up on you a little bit. Duke gets a good shot, they don't make it, and all of a sudden they got to sprint back, and North Carolina's getting a layup, and you have to foul.
Yeah, they're beating them off the bounce. They're really attacking the rim and beating them off the bounce to the goal.
So a little foul trouble for Duke. Curry to the bench with 2. Cook back into the game with 2. And for Carolina, Bullock and Hairston, 2 terrific shooters, both return to the game.
You know, I was a little drastic the other night, that 5 overtime game, about my theory that I had about on a 6th foul, keep them in the game because these refs blow the whistle, stars are on the side. I saw last night Nerlens Noel on the side. But I'll tell you this, and I feel strong about this. We should go to 6 fouls in college basketball. Too many times we have great players practice all week and they're on the sideline.
You mentioned Kentucky, Noel. What a loss for Kentucky with Noel tearing the ACL in his knee and out for the season. Sulaimon. Jefferson. Plumlee gets an opportunity. 3 cracks at it for Duke, but they've still got the ball.
Plumlee's got to go up a little stronger to the basket, a little tentative right there.
But P.J. Hairston just threw that first shot out, and that just shows you that first move by Rasheed Sulaimon, how good that freshman is from Houston with the basketball.
You know, he's up and down scoring, but you can see the potential is unlimited how good he's going to be. Great size for a perimeter player.
Plumlee kicks it out to Thornton.
Plumlee walked, they just didn't call it.
And Duke scrambling just to keep possession. Carolina has gone back to their smaller lineup, the one that they started the game with.
And their more effective lineup, but they've had to play a lot of consecutive seconds of defense here and have not let their intensity wane. This has been impressive by North Carolina.
Well, with Curry out of the lineup right now, they really lack that perimeter threat deep with Thornton and Cook out there.
Plumlee travels. ESPN's Journey to the Tourney is a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament tomorrow night. This is always a fun game. Kelly Olynyk and the Bulldogs look to improve their chances and perhaps a #1 seed as they take on Matthew Dellavedova and the St. Mary's Gales. 11 Eastern tomorrow night on ESPN2.
I'll tell you, there's no mid-major about those 2 programs. They can flat-out play. Dellavedova is a terrific point guard.
Tough shot by Dexter Strickland, way off. McAdoo, though, comes up with the loose ball.
Very effective inside. He's being quick to the basket, Jay.
Well, you talk about 50-50 balls. That was just McAdoo being alert and quick.
Oh, fake down,
he slams it.
Good no call right there. Good no call. Plumlee's having one of those unbelievable years. Certainly right now, Jay, he's got to be right in the mix for the National Player of the Year.
I think he is. His consistency has been remarkable, and he's done it not only on the glass, but he has scored at a really efficient rate.
He's averaging 18 a game, 11 rebounds a game. He's improved on the free throw line from 51% to 65.
And over his last 5, he's averaging 21 points, 75% from the field.
He made 3 out of 4 free throws in the closing minute against BC on Sunday. Duke was down 5 with less than 2 minutes to go and scored the last 6 points of that game to escape with a win.
Well, with 43 seconds there, he goes to the line and makes 2 to give him a 1-point lead. Then he comes up later and he gives him the actual lead to win the game.
J.P. Tokido, number 25, into the game for the first time for North Carolina.
And he has to be blocked out. A remarkable athlete.
Yeah, he's a high riser, explosive. Good defense right there by Cook. Stepped in the passing lane, good anticipation.
Turner Boston off the glass and good.
You know, with Hairston and Bullock, you have two lethal shooters. And if they're on fire, they can create a nightmare for a defense.
Poked away by McAdoo, but into the hands of Thornton. Cook from the corner, partially blocked. Plumlee is fouled. And a timeout on the floor. North Carolina leading by 5. Quinn Cook coming up with a steal and a layup as the Blue Devils try to rally.
Best games of this generation. Dead Space 3, rated mature.
Xbox 360, starting at $99.
What have you been?
007 reporting for duty.
Utterly shocking sensation of being on a business trip where everything goes right, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Feel the advantage. Feel the Hamptonality.
I may have retired from the game, but not from being big. Good thing one car gives me full-size luxury and 36 miles per gallon, which is nice because I've got shoes that are bigger than most hybrids. And more stylish, too. If you don't know the luxurious yet fuel-efficient LaCrosse, you don't know Buick.
Celebrate President's Day and lease this EPA-estimated 36 highway MPG LaCrosse with no first month's payment, no security deposit, and zero due at signing.
Guess who?
Tomorrow is a good day to die hard.
That's it! That's what you got!
Bruce Willis. A good day to die hard. Rated R.
From the cans, Forte will have to take it. Got it!
He lets it fly! Doherty dribbling it all the way down the floor.
There it is. Banks gets off the shot.
It's in!
The 235th meeting between Duke and Carolina. Carolina leads 132 to 102. Duke's won 5 of the last 7, but Carolina's won 5 of the last 7. Here, you just never know what's going to happen.
Well, you know, really, I think one of the keys so far tonight, Jay, is the fact that you look at Carolina, they're doing a pretty good job defending the three. Against Miami, they made 15 threes. Tonight, Duke hasn't made one.
I think North Carolina's done a great job of coming out with intensity, and they've done a really good job of putting pressure on the ball. They've really extended their defense. They haven't guarded the ball screen as well as I think they're capable of, but for a team that has struggled on the road to get off to this kind of start has got to make them feel confident.
Yeah, they've only got 3 road wins, beat Long Beach State, Boston College.
James Michael McAdoo to the bench. That last foul before the timeout was his second. Jackson Simmons into the game for the first time. Page, the lefty, shields off the defender and lays it in to give Carolina a 7-point lead.
You know, you could see their game plan is let's attack off the bounce, that they can't guard us one-on-one because they are attacking regularly.
Simmons giving up a lot of size in the matchup with Plumlee. Strickland helps, but we have a foul on the inside going on Simmons.
We're going to take an example right here. He's just going to take him one-on-one, take him right to the goal, and beat him. And they've been doing that all night long, as Lionel Richie would say, all night long. I love Lionel Richie.
It was just a great read by Marcus Page. He knew that he had a 6'8" redshirt freshman on him, Alex Murphy, and just blew right past him.
Murphy to the bench now. Jefferson back in. Curry, who's scoreless, has returned as well. Duke gives it away. Carolina's got a 5-on-2. Bullock is open and hits a three.
That's like a layup for him, Jay. That's like a layup. They run in transition for the three-point shot rather than a layup.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski has to be upset because they gave away an out-of-bounds under, and it turned into not points for Duke, but an open three for North Carolina.
Check out my new treadmill app. Pretty sweet, huh? Cute, but don't you have any apps on your phone that can make your life easier? Who do you think I am? Quicken Loans?
At Quicken Loans, we'll provide you with MyQL Mobile. This amazingly useful app allows you to take pictures of your mortgage documents using an iPhone or Android smartphone so you can easily send them to us. One more way Quicken Loans is engineered to amaze.
Ooh la la.
Rivalry week. Duke and Carolina. Reggie Bullock shooting 44% from beyond the arc on the season, and he has made all three of his three-pointers tonight. From the moment this game began, Bullock and Hairston especially, Dick, they've had a look in their eye. They're playing with a lot of energy, a lot of pride tonight.
They had that during the warm-ups outside as well. You watched them in the warm-ups prior to the game.
Plumlee, another turnover.
Having a difficult time establishing Plumlee down in that post, Jay, and I think he's got to go down there, sit in that post. I don't think he can defend him down there. It's good footwork, as you said.
Well, they've been out of sync. Seth Curry has not scored. On the last possession when Quinn Cook threw the ball away out of bounds under, he put his head straight down and was late getting down the floor as a result of it. North Carolina has been the tougher team and the more alert team in this first half.
And Duke has turned it over 8 times in less than 14 minutes.
They only averaged, 10-11 on the year.
Hairston.
Bad play up in the air. It's a no-no for you young kids, leaving your feet.
Looked like he had the shot, decided to pass. Simmons was going to the rim to rebound.
See, I think Plumlee's establishing post position too far out.
And he's just called for the foul, his second.
Watch where he establishes post position. I'm telling you, Jay, he's way out on the floor.
And being guarded by a guard. And Hairston, to his credit, stayed in front. And I think it was because Plumlee lowered that shoulder. 9 times out of 10, that would probably be a block. But because he lowered that left shoulder and went right into the chest of Hairston, it was a charge.
I agree with you.
So Cook, Curry, and Plumlee all with 2 fouls for Duke.
He's going to play him with 2. I don't blame him.
Plenty of time to shoot. Strickland waves away Hairston.
Doing a better job tonight in shot selection when you look at North Carolina.
Struggling now. Blocked by Curry. Duke ball.
They struggled in that possession, but all night long they've been doing a really effective job with good shots. And that is really a barometer and a key to win. You got to take good shots.
Needs to be a focus to get the ball inside to Plumlee right now. He's got Jackson Simmons on him.
Absolutely. It should be a total M&M mismatch.
Curry knocks it down. First points of the night for Seth Curry.
Just a matter of time. He's too good of a shooter. Even though you and I had him against Miami, that club, they were 1 for 29 to 3 guards.
Curry 0 for 10 in that game. Almost 20 a game in the 5 games since. As Hairston is called for the foul, knocking Cook down. And we say hello again to Janine.
Well, Dan, is this where the Blue Devils could use Ryan Kelly? You know, I spoke with him before the game, and he said he has made progress on that foot. He said he's walking some now without the crutches. He's putting weight on it. It's not hurting as much. Just this week, he's now getting in the pool. He's doing some squats, so he's doing some rehab work, which he wasn't doing before. And Chris Collins told me we're hoping we get him back for the ACC tournament. That's good news.
You talk about a vital player, as Jay said earlier, stretches the defense with his shooting ability. He defends. He's probably their best defensive player in terms of big people and really a leader. And when you have 3 veterans like Kelly and Curry and Plumlee, I mean, that is a difference maker.
McAdoo back into the game with 2 fouls. Marshall Plumlee has checked in for his older brother Mason for the first time tonight. Marshall, the redshirt freshman, playing sparingly, coming back off a foot injury he had earlier this season.
He's really going to give him size inside, very limited offensively. He's a big body.
McDonald trying to back down Thornton. Tough turnaround. knocks it down.
It was a tough turnaround. He did everything right defensively, stayed between him and the basket, made him shoot over the top. You got to give the offensive guy a tip of the hat.
Well, North Carolina's best post players are their guards. They do a really good job of him scoring in the post.
First three of the night for Duke. Tyler Thornton.
And probably a guy you don't expect to make the three. Nice fake. Great ball fake.
McDonald leaves it short. Saved by Bullock. And we get a foul on the floor going against the Blue Devils. Timeout as well with 3:50 to go in a spirited first half. And the visiting Tar Heels are up by 5.
I may have retired from the game, but not from being big. Good thing one car gives me full-size luxury and 36 miles per gallon, which is nice because I've got shoes that are bigger than most hybrids. And more stylish, too. If you don't know the luxurious yet fuel-efficient LaCrosse, you don't know Buick.
Celebrate President's Day and lease this EPA estimated 36 highway MPG LaCrosse with no first month's payment, no security deposit, and zero due at signing.
Tip off All-Star Weekend with a little stargazing. Be courtside as some of the biggest names in entertainment join forces with NBA legends and All-Star coaches. The Sprint NBA Celebrity All-Star Game, Friday at 7 on ESPN.
Seth Curry up the right side, alley-oop, Plumlee slam dunk. Mason looking for it, got it.
The ACC, where leaders are born.
Introducing GMC Pro Grade Protection, the industry's best pickup coverage. 2 comprehensive warranties, and now scheduled maintenance. Why so confident? Let's just say we've done our homework. Built to a higher standard, covered to stay that way. That's professional grade. GMC Pro Grade Protection is a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, a 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 2 years of scheduled maintenance. Another industry first from GMC.
I'm in a timeout because apparently riding the dog like it's a small horse is frowned upon in this establishment. Luckily, though, I can conceal this bad boy underneath my blanket just so I can get on E-Trade, check my investment portfolio, research stocks. Wait, why are you taking... Oh, I see. Solitary. Just a man and his thoughts. And a smartphone. With an E-Trade app. Nobody knows.
E-Trade. Investing unleashed.
Chris Cotter in our college basketball studios. Coming up on the UPS halftime report, I'll be joined by Jay Williams, Coach Greenberg. We'll take a look at what's up with Kentucky now that Nerlens Noel is lost for this season. How do the Wildcats look moving forward as they're starting to play some good ball? Syracuse, a tough road through a snowy Hartford. Final Big East game between UConn and the Qs went down to the wire. And then Miami still unbeaten in ACC play, although Florida State gave them a tough game in Tallahassee. We'll have all the highlights coming up on the UPS halftime report. Dan?
All right, Chris, thank you. Back here at the Cameron Indoor Stadium, a 5-point lead for North Carolina over Duke. Carolina's had an awful lot of clear-cut looks at the basket, Jay. How are they getting them?
Well, they're getting them in transition. They've done a really good job of getting down the floor. And, a great lesson for any young player is you have to move on to the next play. You've got to move on from one thing to another and be able to convert. When the ball changes hands, you got to get down to the other end of the floor.
And absolutely. They're doing the job on the glass as well at the offensive end.
Can't pout and sulk after a bad play. You got to focus and get back defensively in transition.
Tokido, 16-footer. Too strong, and the rebound down to Cook.
Tell you one of the keys tonight as well for North Carolina, not putting Duke on a free throw line. They have shot this year 506 free throws. They've only been on the line tonight only 4 times.
But Plumlee needed to get that ball right away. He had McAdoo on his hip.
Great position. That's going to be frustrating to a big guy. You were a big guy down there. You're wide open. You get great position, and they don't get the ball in.
Yeah, but the difference is Plumlee could score. I couldn't. When you give an opportunity to a guy like McAdoo to break contact and get around in front, when you've got him sealed, Plumlee's got to get that ball right away.
Look at this lineup now for Duke. 4 guards and Plumlee.
Well, they've got to match North Carolina's 4-guard lineup.
Thornton turns it over. Sloppy play by Duke here in the first half.
Hey, Jay, I looked up past records. I had you on my all-blenders team. You're a blender.
McAdoo misses the slam. McDonald with the offensive rebound. Two great opportunities missed by the Tar Heels.
You know, right now in this game, attacking the rim, the aggressor is North Carolina. They have been the aggressor.
Cook just keeps on going.
He's had some magical moments. Nobody stepped in to cut off his drive to the goal, to give help. Very quick to the basket.
10 now for Quinn Cook.
He's had some great games shooting the three. He's had some bad games not shooting the three.
Mismatches size-wise in Carolina's favor. Bullock misses on his post-up opportunity, and back come the Blue Devils now down by 4.
Plumlee using the ball screen again, just slipped it.
Curry, tough shot.
Well, that was a tough shot, and a shot he can make, but you'd like to see the ball.
That's a charge, no doubt. No doubt about that one. I mean, are you kidding me? Stevie Wonder could see that play. Are you kidding? And I could see it. I got one eye.
Mike Eads, Brian Kersey, Carl Hess working this game here tonight. Jefferson back into the game now as Duke goes a little bit bigger. Cook sits down.
Tell you one thing, this just never gets old, man. Duke and North Carolina, there's some great rivalries in football, but I'm telling you, nothing matches the electricity, the enthusiasm, the energy, and those are 3 E's.
Roy Williams is taking James Michael McAdoo out to protect him. He's got 2 fouls, so he puts him on the bench with less than 2 minutes to go.
Look at the matchup inside on Plumlee. Look at the matchup inside. He's getting a good post position. Get him the ball.
Jackson Simmons now defending him.
Gotta work. That's a mass mismatch. Oh, you got a score there. Should have dunked that baby. Just take it and dunk it.
Hairston gets the bounce.
Boy, no help at all. He just waltzed to the basket, and white shirts just watched him. Great drive.
You're right about that. Taking pictures like the Kodak man instead of rotating over. Guys, got to understand the ball is the most dangerous thing on the floor.
Great feed from Sulaimon to Plumlee.
Big 2-man game, the diagonal pass, and Plumlee with the finish. You got to play the basketball. If you're on the help side and a guy makes a drive, you got to close it off.
McDonald driving past Plumlee.
I'll tell you, they got away with it right there, Duke. He had an open lane as well.
About a 3-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock here at the end of the half.
I would be patient now, and I would go to Plumlee. I would make that ball have to touch Plumlee in that post.
And you can take it all the way down to the very end of the shot clock and still have time for a tip-in.
Sulaimon knocked away.
What a poor job executing right there. A poor job by Duke in their execution in that sequence.
And Bullock almost hit a 30-footer at the end of the half. Duke sloppy with the basketball tonight, turning it over 11 times. Carolina playing with a lot of energy, and they are up 33-29. At halftime here in Durham. Janine Edwards is with Duke Associate Head Coach Chris Collins.
Chris, some uncharacteristic patches of sloppiness so far, turnovers and such. Is that more a function of what your guys are doing or what Carolina's doing?
Well, I think a combination of both. I mean, give them credit. They're playing very physical. They're playing good defense. They're trying to chase us off the three-point line. We got to do a better job of finishing when we get the ball underneath. But the emotion of the game, we got a little bit excited early. We've got to settle down a little bit offensively. But for us, it's on defense. We're leaving them way open for way too many threes and giving them too many layups and dunks at the basket.
Well, Coach Krzyzewski told us that matchups on the perimeter were going to be critical. How do you get your three-point shot back?
Well, you know, we got to try to get Seth going, obviously, but really, it's not so much on the offense. We got to do a better job on defense. They've gone to a smaller lineup, which has kind of messed us up a little bit. We got to adjust and do a better job in the second half.
Thanks, Chris.
Janine, thank you. The halftime score, Carolina leading by 4. Coming up, the UPS halftime report. Chris Cotter,
about the same. Shooting percentage is right around 40. Rebounds about the same. Free throws exactly the same. I think North Carolina came out a little bit more alert. They won the hustle battle in that first half. Now I think the challenge for both teams, how are they going to respond the first 4 minutes of the second half?
5 starters in this game, 3 for Duke, 2 for Carolina. Begin the second half with 2 fouls apiece, so let's keep an eye on if anybody picks up an early one here. Roy Williams again to the smaller lineup with no true center. McAdoo, the miss. Hairston keeps it alive. Great hustle by Hairston, who's been playing like that all night long.
That's one of the great strengths on the offensive boards. Attacking the offensive glass.
Sulaimon the foul, his first. Here's Janine Edwards.
Well, guys, I spoke with Carolina coach Roy Williams, who was most impressed with his team's sense of urgency. He said, wow, that was really, really something to watch, and they need to hold it for the next 20 minutes. He's also glad that they went into the locker room with a lead because they needed that. Now, the Tar Heels kind of feel like they're living on the edge a little bit because the Blue Devils have given them a few gifts, but if they can keep things going their way, they're feeling pretty good about the way they're playing so far tonight, guys.
We mentioned the potential of an early foul on a key player here in the second half. Mason Plumlee just picked up his third.
And that's big because he's got to come out right now. They're a little limited in terms of size with Ryan Kelly. Mike really upset. He's leaving him on the floor with 3.
Yeah, I don't know that he does come out right now. I think you have to trust a senior National Player of the Year candidate that can avoid a 4th foul right away. But, you know, we talked about alertness, hustle, and North Carolina with a little bit more hustle on that first possession.
Nice cut. Great movement without the ball, ran him off the screen. I would attack Plumlee. Wherever Plumlee's on the floor now, I would attack him.
Plumlee playing very cautiously, as you could see on that drive by Strickland.
There it is, on attack. Well, you got to convert that. He had an open layup, Jay. Wide open.
Well, he was seeking out a body instead of looking to complete the play. He was looking more for the foul.
Sulaimon. Offensive foul. Sulaimon pointing to the restricted area, to the semicircle, saying the defender was inside the line.
Take a look right here at Plumlee. He attacks him. Plumlee backs away, gives him the open layup. But you're right, Jay. He really was concerned about the body of Plumlee and never was concentrating on finalizing and converting.
Well, Plumlee moving his body away was what helped out. And North Carolina is getting to the offensive glass with ease. No Duke player on the perimeter has blocked out all night long.
And that's their strength. They really like to get on the offensive boards. 15 a game.
Carolina has led every second of this game. Oh, all kinds of contact out of bounds to Duke. Jefferson went down hard. P.J. Hairston wound up in the second row of seats.
He almost tackled Barry Switzer underneath. Barry Switzer's down there.
Hazardous duty under the basket.
He's earning his bucks, man, earning his dollars.
It's Gary Parsons, our guy, with a camera under the basket. Barry Switzer's a couple of rows back. Gary Parsons is right there on the front line.
Tell you one thing, you can see the passion and the hustle, and it starts with your leaders, Hairston and Bull. And like I said, now, I'd go to McAdoo, and I'd say, take him one-on-one, take Plumlee one-on-one. Very weak screen. Dump it in the McAdoo. They had him wide open.
Hairston looked at him, couldn't get it there in time. Now McAdoo.
Yes, sir. That's what I'd be doing. Hey, that was reminiscent of Jerry Stackhouse. Mom and Dad love it. Dad played at VCU.
And now it looks like Krzyzewski is going to take out Plumlee. He's got Josh Hairston at the scorer's table.
He's got to take him out because he's not helping them at all if you're not going to guard people. If you're not going to guard people, if you just be passive, they'll go layup after layup.
Early timeout here in the second half. Plumlee with foul trouble. McAdoo asserting himself here against the Blue Devils, scoring a couple of times already in the second half as the Tar Heel lead grows to 7.
That was big time right there.
Duke, Maryland, and Texas, Kansas, Saturday on ESPN.
The reverse finish Mom and Dad, first row behind the bench, love what they're seeing here at Cameron.
Well, that was good basketball IQ, attacking the rim with Plumlee. And there's the dad. I said VCU. Old Dominion. I did the game when they upset #1 in the country, DePaul, and he was the catalyst.
Josh Hairston and Mason Plumlee to the bench with 3 fouls.
Well, Plumlee was not guarding for fear of picking up that fourth. Just gives him a little bit of time to rest. And
virtually no inside scoring, you would think, for Duke from their bigs right now with this alignment. Good hustle by Cook, and he draws the foul on Bullock. That'll be the second on Reggie Bullock. And Quinn Cook firing up the crazies here at Cameron.
Now, Krzyzewski's a little fired up on that sideline as well. As the crazies getting after it. This is pure hustle right here. Look at Cook. You talk about determination. Little push off there, too. And the ref nailed him. The ref nailed him. He caught him.
Cook has been Duke's best player tonight. He's got 12 points, 4 rebounds.
He did a really nice job in post defense. He got caught behind the bigger Reggie Bullock, but he held his ground.
He has shot the ball well since January 5th when he was 0 for 5. Here shooting threes. He's 9 for 26.
Oh, what a great move by Seth Curry.
And a couple of quick fouls on Bullock. All of a sudden, he's got 3.
Curry is so crafty and does such a great job of changing speeds.
I was reminiscent of his brother. Really, his brother had all those moves when he played at Davidson.
Well, anytime, Dick, that he dribbles to the left, you have to be aware of his step-back move. He uses that step-back move to his left more often than at any other time.
I like the way you demonstrated it up here. We used to have a camera. I like the way you used that left hand because you never used it when you played. Hey, there's Mom. I think that's his sister. That's not his mother. That's his sister.
Well, she's got to be proud. Her 2 boys are the highest scoring brother combination in NCAA history, Division I history. The Currys just passed the Hansbros for that honor.
And that's really upsetting because my brother couldn't score. Otherwise.
All you needed was 3,400 points out of him and you'd have been right there. 6-point lead Carolina. They've led wire to wire.
They're moving well without the ball. Really moving well. Attacking off the bounce.
Hairston behind the back. Right we do. Baseline jumper in and out. Sulaimon holding off Hairston, and Duke comes up with a rebound.
Very lucky Duke right there. Had a wide open look after a little penetration off the dribble.
And that's the next step for McAdoo to be able to hit that shot.
Hairston the kick. Curry for 3. Thornton the tap.
On his foul contact there.
Strickland.
Great job by Hairston getting the ball to Curry. Curry came up empty, had the wide open look.
Don't miss some of the hottest celebrities from film, TV, and music as they play alongside some of the biggest NBA legends of all time. It's the Spring NBA All-Star Celebrity Game Friday at 7 on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN.
That's fun. That's a fun situation.
Thornton with another one.
He's giving him a big lift. He's not normally a long-range shooter.
Draws another foul.
Terry McAdoo really being aggressive. He was subpar against Miami. He was 3 for 12. The 2 games prior, he played really well.
Both teams are driving the ball. That last 3 by Thornton was because of the penetration by Rasheed Sulaimon.
He's gonna be a special player, Jay. Sulaimon.
You think anybody would have guessed, guys, that 24 minutes into the game, Duke would only have 2 threes and Tyler Thornton would have both of them?
Well, especially the way North Carolina guarded the 3 against Miami. I mean, Miami went 15 of 26 from 3 against North Carolina.
Well, Roy Williams said they can't allow Plumlee to have a big game and Duke to go wild from beyond the arc. So far, neither thing has happened. Carolina accomplishing both of their goals.
Offensive boards again. Really, nobody blocks out. That is a lost art in college basketball.
Especially McDonald.
And especially for guards, Dick. Guards aren't used to blocking out.
And an air ball by McDonald, which you'll be hearing about the rest of the night.
That looked like my jump shot. I have an excuse. I'm 73.
Carolina continues to lead, but it's down to 3 here at Cameron.
turbo? Trust us, it's just better to be in front. The Sonata Turbo from Hyundai.
Kraft macaroni and cheese. You know you love it.
How could a luminous protein in jellyfish impact life expectancy in the U.S., real estate in Hong Kong, and the optics industry in Germany? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason over 75% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper average. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing.
What do you suppose is up there?
On March 1st, the legend is real.
Giant!
From director Bryan Singer.
Tomorrow, you shall return below with me as your new king.
Are you mad?
I'm talking to giants of the moon.
Experience an adventure.
Let's cut a few of them down to size.
Bigger than you ever imagined.
It's something behind me, isn't it?
Jack the Giant Slayer. Rated PG-13. In Real D, 3D, and IMAX 3D March 1st.
Back in Cameron, North Carolina 38, Duke 35. One of the traditions in this rivalry is that the day before the game, the managers play. And this is last night here at Cameron. Ian McKiernan finding Graham Vahovich for a three as time expired. As the Duke managers beat the Carolina managers 55-52, they stormed the court. Duke players Quinn Cook, Ryan Kelly, Alex Murphy, Josh Hairston, Rasheed Sulaimon, Todd Zaporowski, and Tyler Thornton were all here. They stormed the court, and Graham Vahovich was the BMOC yesterday here in Durham.
Watch you drive to the goal. Those managers work so hard. People have no idea the hours, the dedication. I usually pick an all-managers team. I got to get Vahovich on it.
Foul away from the ball going against the Blue Devils, who have closed it to 1. They're playing extended minutes without Mason Plumlee on the bench with 3 fouls. Hairston in the game picked up the foul.
That was a good move by Coach K, getting him out of the game because he was so passive defensively with the 3 Plumlee.
Hairston is physical. McAdoo trying to go to work on him. P.J. Hairston for 3 for Carolina.
That's an answer right there. They come at you, you make the big play, and that's what Hairston did.
Well, you didn't need to help off of Hairston because, Hairston could guard, Josh Hairston could guard McAdoo down in that low post. You come off, he hit him, wide open shot. You can't help off ball side, 3-point line.
Especially with a guy that can shoot like Hairston. He wants that ball screen right there. Good job getting over the top.
Cook for 3. Good rebound by Thornton. Sulaimon. Hairston lays it in.
Tremendous job by Sulaimon. He has great vision. He's really a talented ball handler, Joe.
He's done a nice job of attacking. Really good with the ball.
Really getting after defense. Look at that intensity out there. Hooked him.
P.J. Hairston called for the foul.
Well, that's an automatic call.
Nice drive to the left. Drive, draw, dish the rock. The old 3D play. Boy, this place is electric, my man. Dan Shulman, they don't have this in hockey, do they?
Curry. Rebels have their first lead of the night. But it may not last long as P.J. Hairston's heading to the line for Carolina.
Now here's the key for North Carolina. How do they respond by the fact that now Duke has caught them and taken a... There's Curry. And we know the guy can flat out shoot the jag. He shot that from Raleigh, man.
Well, you can't go underneath those screens, Dick.
No, you got to get over the top or at least go third man, not fourth.
Let's check in with Janine Edwards.
And guys, this is where Roy Williams is looking for his team to be able to handle adversity. Remember at the top, we said this is something they haven't done very well this year, especially on the road. But if halftime was any indication, when the Tar Heels came out of the locker room, they were light, they were loose, they were joking, they were upbeat. And their SID, Steve Kirshner, said to me, I have never seen our guys so relaxed. We'll see if that's a good thing or a bad thing here pretty soon.
That was a good point, Janine. He definitely told us, he said, we have not been able to handle adversity.
The fouls on Quinn Cook, his third. He remains in the game. And Mason Plumlee, who's got 3, has returned for Duke. Cook driving again. High off the glass. McAdoo the rebound. Almost turned it over. Hairston. Thornton looking ahead for Cook.
That's just tremendous transition basketball. Carolina shot the ball too quickly. Nobody rotated back, and Cook made a pay.
Page wide left on a 3.
They're shooting the ball too quickly, Jay. The last 2 possessions.
Sulaimon.
Get a TO, baby. Get a TO, baby. Get a TO, North Carolina.
After Duke first took the lead, North Carolina responded, but the last couple of plays, I have always believed that a bad shot is the first pass in your opponent's fast break. Too quick and I think questionable shots by North Carolina result in runouts and a wide open 3 that have changed really the tenor of this game.
I'll tell you, Jay, the guy responsible really playing well in that sequence. Sulaimon really elevated his game, passing the ball, attacking. Look at the little love affair. I think these kids love playing with each other.
Well, Sulaimon was very good in the second half against Ohio State after not scoring a single point in the first half against the Buckeyes. He had 17 points and was very aggressive in that second half.
Oh, there's the coach of Nebraska. Football in the house. No Pelini.
Barry Switzer here, Mark Teixeira here, Kevin Millwood, former big league pitcher here.
Dan Schulman's here.
Duke up by 4. They've made 5 of their last 7 shots. How will Carolina respond?
Well, Carolina's got to drive it. Duke's got 17 fouls. You got to put them in a position to foul. You can't settle for jump shots.
And again, if McAdoo can draw another foul on Plumlee, that would be his 4th. Strickland fadeaway, tough shot over Plumlee.
Nice play by Strickland to get it there, 3-second area. He has a good assist-to-turnover ratio, one of the best here in the conference. Played at St. Pat's, played with Michael Gilchrist and company down there, New Jersey.
Sulaimon and Curry running off a series of screens. Again, the very small lineup, 4 guards and Plumlee. With his 3rd 3 of the game.
I know it's reminiscent of what he did when you had the game up in Maui when he beat Kansas with 2 threes. Not the man you think would be making a trifecta. Oh, wide open.
And again, Plumlee, maybe because of the foul trouble, hesitant to come over and help.
Well, nobody rotated over. No one converged on the basketball. That is certainly one of the theories of Bob Knight when he used to give clinics. You got to cut off that driving angle. Got to attack the basketball.
Now for North Carolina, it's got to be on the defensive end. They are scoring. They've got to get a stop.
Got to touch inside the Plumlee.
Backing down McAdoo, lost it on the way up, and very fortunate there not to pick up number 4 as he converts.
Good play though, good cerebral move, getting the ball inside. What do you expect from a Duke kid? They got 1,400 SATs. I took him 3 times to get 1,400.
I can't figure out what's a block and a charge in this game. And that was a foul right there.
So the other thing I can't figure out, all the grabbing and the holding and not blowing the whistle. I mean, it takes away the fluidness of the game. I know you've talked about that often.
Well, this is a really difficult game to officiate. The officials have done a good job, but it's tough.
Curry misses the 3. Under 11 minutes to go. Duke up by 5.
Another danger time right for North Carolina. They're going to have to start putting some points on that board.
Hairston is being guarded by Curry in the post. They should have given it to him.
They don't recognize situations.
Strickland. Sulaimon has it for the Blue Devils.
Duke has taken control now. Duke has really taken control of this series here in the last 3-4 minutes.
The four-guard lineup working for them, and Plumlee's avoided the fourth foul.
Nice job by Page to stop that drive.
And good job by Hairston on defense to force the turnover and take us to a timeout. But for Carolina, the problem is the Blue Devils are hot. They have made 7 of their last 10 shots. And midway through the second half, with Plumlee back in the game, Duke is up by 5.
I hate that cable only lets us record 2 shows at once.
Me too. Cable's worse than...
Not being able to record all our shows at once is more annoying than...
We need to upgrade to DirecTV and get the new Genie. She lets you record 5 shows at once.
I want DirecTV more than...
Record 5 shows at once with the new DirecTV Genie. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
ESPN College Game Day is on the road again. This week, Jay, Reese, Jalen, and Digger are live from Kansas. College Game Day covered by State Farm. Saturday at 10 on ESPNU and 11 on ESPN.
The utterly shocking sensation of being on a business trip where everything goes right, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Feel the advantage. Feel the Hamptonality.
When considering a luxury car, who do you ask for advice? Your cousin spray tans. Your coworker makes mixtapes. And the neighbor is a reenactor. Maybe you should ask the experts, like Edmunds.com and like Forbes. The Acura TL. Luxury. Highly recommended.
Visit your local Acura dealer during our President's Day sales event.
When you have NHL Center Ice, every game is a home game. And now, for the lowest price ever, you can follow your favorite team and players all season long, no matter where you live.
Spectacular!
You'll get up to 40 out-of-market games a week, making it easy to jump into the action at a special low price. NHL Center Ice. The game lives where you do. Don't miss any of this season's action on DirecTV. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS today.
That game, one of the craziest games probably that you've ever been at. There's Jeff Capel, now an assistant coach for Duke, and he's the guy who made that half-court shot at the end of overtime.
Well, we talk about magical moments, and we talk about how the rivalry is so intense. Duke was 0-7 in conference play in that game. Peter Gannett was coaching, and yet they played that great Carolina team with Wallace and Stackhouse. I mean, that went right to the last second.
Yeah, some people think that Duke won that game because they keep throwing the shot that Capel made. Jeff says that he doesn't dissuade them of that notion. North Carolina won that game.
You know, Wojo had a shot at the end in a lane that could have tied the game up, and he just missed it, Wojciechowski.
We have reached the midway point of the second half. Carolina led most of the night, but Duke has rallied in the last few minutes, shooting well. They've got a 5-point lead.
Well, they go 7 for 10. Carolina's got 1 for 4 in the last 4 or 5 possessions.
McAdoo being guarded by Tyler Thornton.
Duke's done a better job of stopping the penetration. There's a better job defensively.
Cook pulls up for 3. It hit the shot clock, so it'll go back to Carolina. Let's look at this lineup right now. Jay, it's not as if they got caught on a switch. Duke's got 4 guards in Plumlee, and now Mike Krzyzewski's going to make an adjustment and to bring Josh Hairston into the game so they don't have a 6'2 guard guarding a 6'9 forward.
I think the one area that North Carolina's gotten away from, they're not attacking and driving the basketball like they did to get the lead. They got to attack a little more off the bounce.
Once the ball moves from side to side, they can really start attacking.
Boy, Cook staying right with McDonald. Now the drive and pull up by McAdoo. Way too strong.
Now, their last 6 possessions have been so ineffective.
Well, Duke's done a much better job of staying in front of the ball handler. They're not getting broken down off the dribble as easily as they were for the
wide open
this game.
And Carolina's going a long stretch without Hairston or Bullock. They're both getting ready to check back in.
And you know, Duke's come up empty the last 3 possessions, had a chance to really widen this gap. Get the ball inside.
McAdoo.
He's got to make that shot, Jay. He can't just be a driver. He's got to make that little 12, 14-foot shot.
Yeah, that's the next step for him. He can make it, but he's inconsistent with it.
Set play between Cook and Plumlee. Missed the jam. Here comes Page straddling the sideline. Bryce Johnson will airball a baseline jumper.
The shooting's been horrendous in the last 3-4 minutes. Horrendous.
I don't think that would have been a good shot even if it went in.
Well, I think I disagree with you. Roy Williams would have said, great shot.
He would have taken it, but just because it goes in doesn't make it a good shot.
No, 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 yes. Rivalry week keeps on rolling with a doubleheader on Thursday Night Showcase. Wisconsin is at Minnesota. Going to be another battle in the always entertaining Big Ten. And then at 9 Eastern, St. John's and Louisville. The Thursday Night Showcase presented by T. Rowe Price. Part of Rivalry Week presented by Wendy's. Let's go back to the Big Ten for a moment, guys. How about the way Michigan State is playing right now?
Playing phenomenal. I've said a week ago, you and I did a game, don't ever count out Tom Izzo. I mean, his team's playing great defense, getting great play out of the big kid, Jay. Nix is playing well inside.
Yeah, Derek Nix, the lefty, has really improved his post game. He's showing poise when he gets the ball down there. But Adrian Payne can make a face-up shot, a tremendous athlete. It's a team that just fights. I was stunned that they beat Michigan that badly.
I can't wait to get up there next Tuesday. They play against Indiana. Mike Tirico and I are going to be joined by a fair player, a guy that played a little bit when he played in the NBA, the Magic Man, Irvin. I got to make sure he sees some red, not just all green.
Good D by McAdoo. Strickland lost it, and it'll be Duke ball when we come back. Oh, Roy Williams, a lot of stress coaching in this game.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter. And in part by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you.
Cantina steak burrito. Thick cut marinated steak swaddled in a warm flour tortilla. It's the big daddy of all burritos.
Baby. Well, if it isn't Mr. Margin.
Mr. Margin?
Oh, don't be modest, Bob. You found a better way to pack a bowling ball.
That was UPS.
Who called UPS? You did, Bob.
I just asked the question.
It takes a long time to pack a bowling ball. The last guy pitched more ball packers. But you consulted UPS. You found a better way.
That's logistics.
That's margin. Find out what else UPS knows.
Don't do that.
You're on a roll.
That's funny.
I wasn't being funny, Bob.
I know.
American?
Yeah. Welcome to Moscow.
Damn straight. Bruce Willis.
You just can't stay out of trouble, can you, John? I'm just on vacation.
A Good Day to Die Hard. Rated R.
Duke leading North Carolina by 5. 7:58 to go here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Let's check out tonight's Reese's Perfect Play.
Well, take a look right there. They shoot the ball like 4 seconds into the shot clock. Hairston lets it fly. Duke players are not even back. And here, bam, and off it goes for a little layup. The kick out, the catch by Cook, the conversion, the score. Reese's perfect play. I love Reese's. I love anything chocolate, Hershey's. I love them.
Jay, how important has Tyler Thornton been tonight for Duke?
Well, he's played off of penetration really well. He's like the utility player that every team wants to have because he can come in. He's an outstanding individual defender, an on-ball defender, and he can make open shots as evidenced by playing off penetration in the corners and knocking down open ones.
Hit 3 big ones today, Jay. 3 big ones. Hey, neither team. Last 5 shots, Duke has missed. The last 6 shots, Carolina's missed. That's 0 for 11, man. That's Brick City.
Duke has not scored a point in 4 minutes. Plumlee, the go-to jump hook.
Smart play. Go to your horse. Go to your All-American. Up 7. It's a danger time now for North Carolina. They have not responded all year when really pushed back. Now let's see how they respond.
Well, they're trying to lift Duke right now to where they can get an opportunity to drive or cut to the basket.
Bullock, never shy. A huge bucket for the Tar Heels.
Bullock really squares up, shoots the 3 exceptionally well, better than 40%. That was, as you just said, Dan, that was a major, major possession for North Carolina.
Well, Bullock has 14 points in this ballgame, 7 rebounds, and now he's chasing around Seth Curry.
That's not easy.
Well, he has worked. He's earned his scholarship tonight. And all season long, he's had a great year.
P.J. Hairston defending Plumlee. Josh Hairston misses the long 2. And a foul on Plumlee, his 4th.
That's 4 on Plumlee. And that possession, they'll let Hairston shoot that 3. Well, it was a long 2, as you said. His foot was over the line.
Well,
offensive contact, no doubt about that.
Yeah, you just have to be smarter. You applaud the young man for going after the loose ball, but when you've got 3 fouls, you certainly don't want to pick up a 4th on a play like that.
Well, I'll tell you, Barry Switzer had to like that. Bo Pelini had to like it. Mike Krzyzewski didn't like it, I'll tell you that.
Doesn't look like a guy enjoying his birthday a whole lot. He's got bigger things on his mind. This big game between Duke and Carolina. Carolina's in the bonus. Bullock's at the line as they continue to cut into the deficit that was 7 just moments ago.
You know, as Jay said, you got to understand the situation. You're a star player. You got 3 fouls. Plumlee, you can't make that foul. Fortunately, they only made 1 out of 2.
Yeah, Bullock, a 92% free throw shooter in ACC play.
Sulaimon with a drive and a finish.
I love him, Jay. I love him. I think the sky is unlimited how good he can be. Hasn't got a lot of publicity like some type of dandies, but this guy can flat out play.
Well, this is where you have to be tough as a team, especially on the road, to answer with a good offensive possession after you get scored upon.
McAdoo, Cook helped but fouled. And Carolina will go back to the line. Something just got thrown onto the court, too. Obviously, a fan here protesting that call.
No place for that, man. No place for that. Free throw line has not been good to North Carolina all year. As a team, they shoot 64%, and that could be a difference maker. Show us find out who threw that on the floor and make sure to get him out of here.
Officials talking. Brian Kersey has come over to the scorers table. They may make an announcement.
The foul looked like it was on Quinn Cook, which would be his 4th.
The only other guy in the vicinity was Plumlee. Would have been his 5th, but it didn't look like Plumlee touched him at all. So.
It was on Cook. Cook there, he's the bounce right there. He bumped him right there.
I think what the officials are looking at, I'm not sure if it's who committed the foul or who should be at the free throw line, and it's McAdoo who should be at the free throw line. Hairston walked up to the line. That's what the issue is, but it's McAdoo who should be shooting the free throws. So the foul was on Cook, his 3rd, and it's McAdoo with the line, not P.J. Hairston. And McAdoo just a 59% shooter from the line on this season.
That's why Hurston went to the line. He's a shooter.
Misses the front end.
See, we talk about the free throw line being so big. That's a little perfect example. You're down 5. You're away from home. You got to convert those, Jay.
It just didn't give Plumlee enough time to slip that screen.
Hairston.
Too easy. 15 feet rather than from the 3.
But what a rebound by Mason Plumlee.
Got to be cerebral right now. You got to be intelligent with the ball. Shot selection vital, making sure the right people shoot the ball.
Cook trying to get something going, trying to get him moving offensively.
Didn't get the initial action, a diagonal screen, then screen for the screener. They guarded it well.
So he'll pull up from 17. Long rebound, bounces out to Curry.
Wow, what a big trifecta. Keeping the ball alive was big, and Curry made them pay.
Bullock, no. Tap back in is good. I think Hairston will get credit for it.
Great left-hand tip by Hairston. No one again puts a body on him. He just goes direct line to the goal for the offensive rebound. A strength of North Carolina.
6-point game. Curry slithers his way in.
Bullock just took his eyes off of Curry to see where that screen was coming from.
And it's the 4th on Curry.
That was an alert play on the weak side for North Carolina to draw that charge.
Did a good job rotating over in that possession. There's Curry, and there's the defense coming over. That's what you got to do. You got to attack the ball. You can't worry about the guy being open. You got to stop the penetration of the basketball.
And usually Curry shoots that little floater in that situation. He doesn't draw many charges.
Bullock through traffic. Carolina ball.
Now you got to appreciate the way Bullock's playing. I mean, in terms of his energy, his enthusiasm, his passion.
Well, both he and Hairston have been tremendous.
Josh Hairston back in, Plumlee out.
Goes down the stretch, down the free throw line. That edge goes big time to Duke.
McAdoo. And draws the foul on Hairston.
But now he goes back to the line, Dan, and he's, as you said earlier, he's an under 60% free throw shooter.
Shooting foul, 2 free throws coming. And Plumlee getting ready to check back in with Duke going back on offense as Mike Krzyzewski wants to limit the possibility of him picking up his 5th foul. McAdoo 1 of 3 from the line tonight.
North Carolina getting 2 the rest of the way. And Carolina's only got 14 fouls. They can be aggressive on the defensive end.
Really got a really frustrated coach when you're sitting there and you can't convert on that free throw line. He's 1 for 4 now.
First one long, second one short.
Come up empty, time goes off the clock. You're struggling to get back, you're down 6, you're a star.
Two-man game between Curry and Plumlee.
That's a pretty good tandem when you got 2 veteran players. They're just isolating them one-on-one in that lane.
John Clark again.
You got to bring help over and take that little jump hook away from him, Jay. You can't let him get in that deep in that 3-second area.
Well, he got so much time to get rhythm. That's the second one of those he's hit in the second half.
Page with a good baseline drive.
And nobody was seeing the ball at all for Duke. Another terrific drive, taking advantage of it by North Carolina.
Ball you man, got to see it, Bobby Knight. Principal.
Hand off to Curry.
Oh, look at this. It's 2. Put him on the line, it's 2. This kid is automatic on the free throw line.
Curry will be at the free throw line when we come back. A slow start for Curry tonight, but he's heated up and has knocked down a huge 3 here in the second half. Much to Mom Sonia's joy here at Cameron.
Rated M for mature.
Allen Brothers Magic.
Watch this. Alakazam!
Staples has always made getting office supplies easy.
Another laptop?
Don't ask.
Disappear. Abracadabra. Alakazam!
And now we're making it easier to get everything for your business.
And for my greatest trick. Enough!
Because whatever you need, we'll have it or find it and get it to you fast. Staples. That was easy.
The game is the game. Until it isn't. It's who we are. Who we become. It's how we build, grow, change, and flow into something new. So the question you have to ask, does the game make you? Or do you make the game?
Some men are coming to kill us. We're gonna kill them first.
Hey, it's Scott Van Pelt. Coming up on SportsCenter, UConn knocks off Syracuse in their final Big East meeting. Nerlens Noel tears his ACL. Hurts Kentucky now. Will it hurt him in June? And MJ at 50. Our week-long series continues. Stuart Scott, you and me, SportsCenter, after the game.
Michael Jordan burst onto the national scene with his game-winning shot in the 1982 National Championship game. He finished his career at North Carolina by leading the ACC in scoring and being named the 1984 Wooden Award winner.
And went on to a pretty fair pro career as well after an outstanding career at North Carolina. Michael Jordan, by the way, will turn 50 on Sunday.
He was so special. Michael was the magnificent one. And what a career on the NBA level. Pound for pound, inch for inch, he was the best. But closing the gap is a guy down in Miami by the name of LeBron, the King.
Dan Shulman, Jay Billis, Dick Vitale, Janine Edwards here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Seth Curry, an 84% free throw shooter on the line.
It's great when you got a guy that can step to the line and convert. That puts a coach at ease. The other side, we've seen nothing but a miss. It's got to be frustration. She better watch. It's automatic. Automatic. That's my boy, she said. That's my boy.
They get it back. Shot clock did not. Now they do reset it, saying the ball hit the rim, so a fresh 35.
How big is this possession? It's like they must score here. Must score.
Duke is switching 1 through 4.
Hairston with a drive to make it a 6-point game.
And that's what they were doing earlier in the game, but you said it and said it well. Duke has done a better job cutting off that drive.
Well, North Carolina did a much better job on that possession of moving the ball from side to side. They were more patient before attacking.
Duke going with this 4-guard lineup for much of the night. 4 perimeter players in Plumlee.
Well, they want ball handlers out there right now. Managing the clock. Oh, look at this move.
And a block is the call. Hairston called for the foul. And Roy Williams to a knee.
I mean, it was a nightmare last year when Plumlee stepped to the free throw line. This year, he's worked so hard and has improved tremendously. Look at his ball skill. Taking the ball to the goal, drive it. Make it like a guard.
And Roy Williams obviously feeling his player was there in time, but it goes Duke's way. Plumlee hits the first as we check in with Janine.
Well, guys, you mentioned earlier that Plumlee was the National Player of the Week this past week, has really stepped up his game. And I asked assistant coach Steve Wojciechowski what he attributes that to. And he said, Mason himself said to me, I'm nearing the finish line, meaning he's a senior. He said, I don't want to have any regrets. And Wojciechowski thinks that's where this sense of urgency has come from by Mason Plumlee all season long. That's allowed him to be the standout that he is.
Hairston forces one up. And a Duke foul.
Got to hold inside. Jay, let me ask you this, Jay. They talked about player of the year right there. If you had to cast a ballot today, and I think it's so close, I know the guy I had last week probably has slipped a little, but if you had to cast a ballot today, who would be your choice player of the year?
Well, Plumlee's played extraordinarily well. Over his last 5 games. He's played well all year. Last 5 games, he's been magnificent. 21 points per game over that period, a couple 30-point games. But Trey Burke has been great all year, too. Doug McDermott's been great. It's a tough choice. I don't think anybody stood out among the rest.
I agree with you, but if I had to cast my ballot today, last week it was Trey Burke. I would go this week, probably the slightest edge to McDermott down at Trey.
Bolov, 88% on the season, misses them both. Carolina has missed their last 6 free throws.
We talked about the free throw line, how big it's going to be.
That was goaltending.
That was goaltending, without a doubt. Without a doubt. They called it, too. I believe they called it.
So count the basket, a late call, but it looks like the proper call.
It was the proper call.
Hit the backboard.
There it is right there.
Under 2 minutes to go. What a different story this would be right now.
Oh, he could have stepped in that passing lane. He had himself a layup. He went behind him. He steps in front. He had himself a layup.
McAdoo gets a lot of steals like that.
There's a trap. They're going to see traps. Just post somebody to the foul line.
And Cook will use a timeout.
That would have been a big steal right there. He was right there for that steal, Jay.
ESPN College Basketball is available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com and with the Watch ESPN app. Well, one of the best stories for the Duke Blue Devils this year, Jay, has been the significant improvement of point guard Quinn Cook.
Well, Quinn Cook has been the difference in this season, and he has been a difference maker in this game. His pressure on the ball defensively has been very good. He's very good off the dribble. He averages over 12 points per game. He averages over 4 rebounds, 6 assists. And those are outstanding numbers for a point guard.
Tell you what, he was brilliant in that tournament over there in the Bahamas. Played great against 3 tremendous basketball teams of Minnesota, VCU, Louisville. I think he walked out with the most valuable player award.
He did. And a big night for Cook tonight. Duke is down to 1 timeout. They've got the ball and the lead with 1.5 minutes to go. And again, as you mentioned, Dick, they've got a lot of good ball handlers and a lot of good free throw shooters on the court.
They want to make sure Curry has the ball here.
Whoa, almost lost it. Still loose. And he turned it over. Strickland being chased and is fouled. It's on Cook. That will be his 4th. 4 Blue Devils with 4 fouls and more free throws coming for Carolina.
Well, North Carolina brought the heat defensively, pressured, and a poor decision by senior Seth Curry. That's one where all you got to do is keep control of the ball, keep your dribble, and dribble it back out.
And let the clock keep running. North Carolina, let the harp on it. They're 8 for 17 on the free throw line. Now 9 for 18. That's 50%. Even a dummy like me could figure that out. Just not these Dukies.
They had him miss 6 in a row until that make by Strickland. Got it down to 4. And Roy Williams will use a timeout. Well, this North Carolina team was beaten soundly at Miami over the weekend. Now, remember, Duke was as well when they went down to Miami. What do you think of the effort that they put forth here a few days later?
Well, I think the effort's been supreme. Now you got to be able to do the little things. I mean, you got to convert free throws. You're not coming here for a moral victory, Jay. They're coming here for a win.
No question. You have to be impressed with the intensity that North Carolina's played with, the confidence. But being down 4 here, Duke's got the ball. I don't think they have to do anything crazy like go, they could press full court, but you don't have to foul right now. You can play solid and disciplined defense.
6 fouls for Carolina, so the next one will put Duke on the line. Duke also has the arrow. Got the ball, got the lead. 1:14 to go, but a game that Carolina led for the entire first half, of the first several minutes of the second half, before Duke heated up and Carolina went cold.
Boy, Dan, that's a great point about the arrow. If you get in trouble in a white jersey and you get tied up, it is still Duke ball, and you have to be aware of that.
And Mike Krzyzewski telling us pregame, they talk about that in huddles, that they can play it differently depending on who has the arrow. Knocked out of bounds by Hairston. Here comes the trap again.
Post up to that foul line. Remember this, Duke is unblemished at home, 12 and 6.
Sulaimon finds Curry. They're going to run down the clock a little bit more.
Got it back out.
Don't want to foul now if you're Carolina. And a foul on Bullock for knocking Sulaimon down.
All that time comes off the clock. Foul in that situation is a no-no. A no-no. And Roy Williams knows that.
Just gave him a hip check. All he had to do was hold his position. That ball was coming off long. Good call by the official.
Sulaimon nearly an 80% free throw shooter on the season.
What a luxury that is when you got your perimeter people who are going to handle the ball, who can go to the line and convert.
Now, even if both of these go down, it's still a two-possession game.
What a difference maker the free throw line has been tonight.
Carolina missing half of theirs. Missed a couple of front ends of 1-and-1s as well here in the second half. Really cost themselves.
Tell you, both clubs have really gotten after it defensively. These two teams lead the ACC in scoring. Carolina number 1 and Duke number 2. But they've got to earn everything here tonight. Oh, that was a silly foul out there.
Thornton called for a foul 30 feet from the basket.
Stopping the clock. Not really a smart play right there. Take a look right there, trying to go over the screen, just shove them. No way you're getting away with that.
So the clock stops and 2 free throws coming for P.J. Hairston.
Now he's a good free throw shooter. Will Mr. Krzyzewski celebrate tonight his 66th birthday with a W? I'm sure his wife Mickey brought him some beautiful gifts. The only gift he wants is a victory over the Tigers.
Another miss.
Story of the night. Story of the night.
(67-62) Duke. Plumlee will be going to the line. 1-and-1.
Came up big up at Boston College. They won a ropes to get Hamlin, had a great game. Steve Donahue's clubs played a lot of people close up there. Couldn't finish at the end.
Boy, did he get a bounce.
For a line drive.
Well, he has really worked on that free throw stroke. It's not Rick Barry, but it's been going in at a higher rate.
Line drive, but it goes, converts both.
Page. Hairston with a putback.
Well, Duke defended that very well. They were switching everything to take away threes. They ultimately gave up a 2, but they didn't give up a 3. That was the plan.
Also, good job by North Carolina on the offensive rebound. Terrific effort by the kids of North Carolina. They played hard, played tough.
You see Plumlee switching out on Reggie Bullock. That necessitated the drive, and that means you're only giving up 2 instead of 3.
Especially with them because they got such lethal three-point shooters with Hairston and Bullock. So you're going to switch on that perimeter.
You can see Duke 13 of 16 from the line. Carolina's just 11 of 21. What a difference that's been in this
Absolutely.
game.
We said it was going to be a major factor, and it really has lived according to the stat sheet.
8 fouls on North Carolina, so if they do foul here, if they don't get a quick steal, it'll be 1-and-1 for Duke. And you would imagine, even though he just made a couple that they'd still rather put Plumlee on the line than any of the guards.
Hey, do you think this place is going to rock when Miami comes to town? Wow. Miami coming here. They won again today. They're still unblemished. Roy Williams sang their praises big time to us before the game. Especially Shane Larkin.
Such a talented point guard, developing into one of the best in the country. They fouled Cook, and he's 84% on the season.
Yeah, you got Cook, you pick out your medicine. You got Cook, you got Curry, you got Sulaimon. They're all in the 80 percentile area. They got a kid coming in here next year, Jay. I'm sure you've seen him, Jabari Parker. As good as advertised?
Yes, he's an excellent player.
Got another kid coming in, Matt Jones. They say terrific shooter.
Out of Texas, I saw him this last summer. North Carolina's got another guard coming in, Nate Britt, lefty.
They signed a great junior, Paul Biancardi told me, from out of Florida, point guard named Barry. They say he's terrific. Inside him, got a verbal commitment. Free throw line, nothing but nylon, difference maker. Takes you to the victory circle. I'm sure they got a big cake inside they're going to bring out.
And Hairston is fouled. And he'll head back to the free throw line, but
they're going to do this again on March 9th. Game day, Reese Davis, Digger, Jalen Rose, our guy Jay, everybody being tabbed up there in Chapel Hill.
It's going to be a doubleheader for you guys, right? Right, Jay?
Yeah, we'll be at Georgetown for Syracuse-Georgetown that morning.
That might be the last time, I think, what?
Could be. I still think they'll play again in the future, but last time as Big East members.
Well, what an ACC in 2 years. When you add Pitt, Syracuse, Louisville, and Notre Dame, oh, man, it's going to be unbelievable.
Tokido back in, but only 8.4 seconds remaining. Duke with the ball and a 5-point lead.
Well, you know, Dean Smith during his heyday, they had some miracle wins like this with 8 seconds to go. Lots of foul in the back.
Yeah, you have to foul right away there. You can't let 3 seconds go off the clock or whatever it was.
Yeah, especially when you're down 5. Yeah, you're down 5. Hey, it's been a lot of fun, guys. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a little warm, but it's been a lot of fun.
The crazies are happy. The tents have been out there for 6 weeks. Students 12 to a tent, reserving their spot for the best seats they could get for this game.
So you never had to sit in a tent, Jay. You never had to sit in a tent.
I was in the doghouse all the time.
12 at a time, or did you have your own personal doghouse?
I had my own personal doghouse. Second level and everything.
Free throw line, there it is. You can talk all the special situations. It has come down to a very simplistic explanation. Free throw line, a plus for Duke, a minus for North Carolina.
One last timeout for Roy Williams.
Well, North Carolina called timeout. The Duke coaching staff jumped off the bench. No time came off the clock. And
Sports Center is coming up next here on ESPN. A lot of college basketball stories to get you caught up on. The unfortunate injury to Nerlens Noel of Kentucky, out for the season with a torn ACL.
Feel so bad for him. He's a really terrific kid. Spoke to him before the game. Difference maker defensively, and really a big blow for Kentucky. The kid now, Willie Cauley-Stein, is going to have to really produce in that middle.
You can see some of the other stories. Syracuse losing, and UConn and Miami, they got a battle from Florida State, but they remain unbeaten in ACC play.
Miami is really a good team. I mean, they really have everything. They're an older team that has a stretch 5 in Kenny Kaji. Shane Larkin is one of the 5 best point guards in the country. And they've got good wings that can shoot it, and they're patient.
And they got a great backcourt. Scott also with, you know, what happened to Kaji at Florida? He didn't play at all down there.
No, they had a pretty good team when he was there.
Tell you one thing, he can play at the next level.
No, don't question. I think he is a pro.
Yeah. And they got experience, 2 fifth-year players, a 6th-year player. And Jimmy Larinaga does a terrific job.
Julian Gamble was born in 1962.
I tell you what, Larinaga will be my National Coach of the Year today.
Hairston with a slam. Now the clock kept running after the dunk by Hairston, and it'll be a formality, but they're going to put a little bit of time back on the clock, I believe. This game is not officially over yet. It's not going to affect the ultimate outcome of the game, but it's got to be done.
Tell you one thing, it was a great effort. The only really negative was the free throw line for North Carolina. They came out, they defended, they played with passion, they played hard, and it's so really heartbreaking when you're a coach that a little simple thing like a free throw line is the difference. A lot of respect between those two leaders, I can tell you that. Both genuine, solid goal Hall of Famers, help in many ways to help raise dollars. I know Mike very active with the B Foundation.
Well, both Coach K and Coach Williams and Coach Vitale are on the wall in Springfield. Naismith Hall of Fame.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of respect all the way around. That's right.
Oh, you're not going to rush the court, please.
It is now officially over, says Carl Hess. Some confusion at the end of the game with the clock, but it's over. Duke wins it 73-68 to go to 9-2 in ACC play, while the Tar Heels drop to 6-5.
I thought they would serenade with a little happy birthday.
For Dick Vitale, Jay Billis, Janine Edwards, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dave Schulman saying thanks for watching, and so long from Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham. Sports Center's coming up with Stuart Scott and Scott Van Pelt.